Whatever you feel, man. You know, keep it real as possible.
All right. Yo, welcome. It's your boy Hometown with Beats and Chill. And I got another guest today, the homie, big fan, big cuzzo, Frank Solomon, aka Mr.Fundamentalz.
Frankie Solomon.
Frankie Solomon Jr. Frank G. Now, how many nicknames you came up with before?
Hey, that's crazy. Come to think about it, it's been.
You took one of mine, bitch.
I did.
You did take one of mine from high school.
That up.
You're not gonna bring it up. You're not gonna bring. You took one of mine. It's like, man, you ever come up with your own nickname and nigga think it's cool, so he take it for himself? He start using that shit.
Well,
on
on top of
social
that,
media.
nobody never called him that, so like,
The fuck? What that supposed to mean?
you know, like if you come up with a nickname, nobody never call you that. It's like
I came up with it.
it you know, I feel like at the time it didn't become valid for him. You feel me? But outside of that, yeah, then your boy Quan came up with the nickname Frank G Nice. You know, I ran with that.
Yeah.
For me being a nice guy.
I remember you was playing when you was playing football and they called you Rook.
Yeah, semi-pro because I made Ricky MVP. You know,
And they was calling you Rook. You was like third season in. This is crazy. I was like, damn, they gonna keep calling you Rook.
that's all they knew you by. So hey, I definitely ran with it, man.
Yeah.
So you know, whatever feel good, you know, I just took it and kept running with it. And then I came to boxing and got Mr.Fundamentalz by one of my trainers, Coach King. You know, he came up with that. You know, and the thing about that name, a lot of people think that it's referred to my style. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My style and how I box, but it's really behind being fundamentally sound. You know what I'm saying? Me making the right decisions at the right time. Me keeping it a simple-minded strategy within the game, and that's within any game I play, because I always stick to the fundamentals of any game, basketball, football, boxing, or whatnot. So, and I always believe that, you know, fundamentals gonna outbeat anything. Like, you know, some people come with all speed, some people come with all physicality, all strength, but at the end of the day, if you don't have those fundamentals in your game, all that's gonna fold. That's the foundation.
Where you get that from? Like, what made you go with that as like your thing? Because you said this has been through, like I said, not just boxing, but like football and just like any sport activity you're in. Like, that's kind of like your thing. What kind of influenced that? Did you pick that up from like an athlete that you admired before, or like is it something through coaching, or like where did you get that from?
It's a good question. I want to say it's kind of a bit of all in one. You know, my favorite athlete definitely Barry Sanders. You know, and him having the vision that he had, the footwork that he had, and the decisions that he made on the field, you know, that overlooked other athletes on the field, that made him the legend that he is now. Same thing with Kobe, you know, as you say, if you've seen some of the interviews, he say he'll go in the gym and to work on the simple fundamentals in the game over and over and over. Okay. You know, at the end of the day, that's my belief of a foundation belief. Even in life is simple. We just make it hard, you know. Mm-hmm. And you know, as you get older, as I got older, I learned that a lot about life, you know. So it's come to the point now, like I hardly stress about anything, no matter what trials or tribulation I go through. I hardly stress or look like I worry about it, man. It is what it is. You know, as long as you endure, you're gonna get through. If it don't kill you, it's gonna make you stronger. Everything is a lesson. So I took that and tried to every day critique it and master it. You know? Same thing with my emotions. You know, being a very emotionally intelligent, my EI, emotional intelligence. You know, being able to handle and manage my emotions dealing with any situation, because you can make a 5-second decision that could ruin your whole life. You know,
True.
And what's the equation in that? That's no balance.
So I want to start back. I know since high school you was playing football, right? Not really didn't really have the most traditional like route in the football, but end up getting into college football, right? Doing like semi-pro to getting into college football. What was that like? Cause that was like a minute. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't like right after high school. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of had that gap where it's like, I remember I was playing basketball and then like for some reason it just didn't translate right after graduation to play like basketball.
Right.
And I know that was something that didn't happen for you right after with playing football. So like, what was it that kind of like kept the momentum to like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna play for, cause nigga, I done had abs, lost some bitches, kind of got them again, and never got them back no more. And somehow you just kept them. So like, what made you or motivated you to like continue to like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna play football?
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
All right, if I answer that question, you speaking of the abs and stuff, it reminded me that one time I had you go work out with me. I had to do this.
So now you about to bring some shit. That's what you're doing? That's what you're doing, bitch? When I pass out, I was fucking, hey, listen. I was about to die, bitch. First of all, all he said was just run around the track full times. Just run around the track full times. And next thing you know, I started talking like this. Hey, bro, that's been cool. Let's do it, bro. I was dying, man. I was dying, bitch. That's supposed to be too mean, bitch.
You got it. Hey, the crazy part about it, I wouldn't even talk about that. Well, I was talking about the other one I had you doing the shoulder shrugs, and you started shaking. You were like this.
Oh, that's. First of all, remember when
They broke it under the bridge.
Listen.
remember when I was on the track and the girl like, he okay? He okay? I'm so embarrassed, bitch. I said, bitch, you need to make sure we the only ones out here been trying to call you, bro.
Oh my gosh.
God damn.
It's too funny, man.
I tried, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to stay in shape. I tried to. All right. Well, whatever Xavier is in your ass, that's what this nigga is. We're like, Frank, I'm not doing cartwheels up this hill, bro. Like, I'm not doing that, bro.
Hey, he made it through though, man. He made it through. He just had to be consistent with it, man. He'd have seen the progressive changes over time, but that was also funny too. My boy, he was so out of shape that he started thinking about life.
You're an asshole for that, bro.
To answer your question, man, what helped that transition, man? What made me keep on going? For a minute, honestly, when I graduated high school and I didn't make that transition right after high school to college, I thought about stopping for a minute. Like, you know what I'm saying, giving up the football dream, but
yeah,
it was such a passion and it was such a, how can I put it, a weight on me that I couldn't give it up. So me being, I around certain people I met, like Tech, a few people that I played for semi-pro with, when I ran into them, nope, I take that back. This is how it started. I was working at a job, Ashley Furniture. And the coach of the first semi-pro team was working there. And we was talking about going back on the football, we were talking about football and stuff like that. He was like, hey, you want to play football now? And I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely, if I had a chance, I'd definitely go back to it, jump back in my passion. He was like, I coached for, what team was it at the time? I want to say it was the Thunder. Yeah, Thunder. It was the Thunder, but it was a different Thunder back then than the Thunder that's out now. He's like, yeah, I coach for the team. Come out there and try out and take a look at it. And that's how that started. And from that point, the passion, that fire was never all the way gone, but it was lit back to a full flame. So.
Do you feel like you had something to prove, or? Cause I'm just saying, cause as a former athlete, like that area of like when you 18, 19, first time and this is maybe a Tampa thing too, cause the culture here isn't really pushing people at the high school unless you got that momentum like right your junior senior year. If you ain't already in the newspapers like that at the high school, people not really pushing you to like go to the next level. It's kind of like you already got that around you and your family, or you got to be self-motivated, and chances are you're probably not self-motivated because there's just so much other unserious shit to get into.
Right, you're definitely right. And speaking of family, that was another thing that was back in my mind. My dad, he always told me like, "You gonna give up football? What you gonna do with football?" And that was, that was a big thing in our family.
Yeah.
So him having that pressure on my mind, like, I was always 1 foot in, 1 foot out at that time until I had the opportunity to put both of my feet in. And then speaking on that, especially down here in Tampa, in Florida, period. When I actually went to college in California, that's when I found out about JUCOs. I knew about, it was a couple of cats from Tech that we knew that went out to California and played JUCO and came back, and we didn't really, heard about it, but we didn't know about it at the time. So when I got out there and I actually found out about it, like Cali got millions of JUCOs, right? So at the time I was out there, I'm looking like, NFL, Florida fills up over half the league, right? And I'm like, why we don't have
like a JUCO system,
down here in Florida? You know what I'm saying? You know how many people be out the streets? Florida got so much talent in every sport, especially football and basketball. And all we needed was different schools for people that really couldn't transfer from school right to a university, for them to have another way to make it or help themselves out.
Yeah, I think that's like more of a money thing. Yeah. It might be a money thing because it's like it be some niggas that can't get them grades, but them motherfuckers still run them 4.2s, 4.3s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like if you can't, if you can't go to Florida, you can't go to Miami or Tally. I can go to HCC.
Right,
you know what I mean? And play football there and shine. And now these programs is kind of getting like more acceptability with the community for players to go there instead of these other schools and shit. Right. I don't know. It's probably like a power thing. I feel like football is kind of already has like it's holding on to its traditional, like its early traditions of the sport and how it conducts business with athletes and shit. I think it's holding on to its whole thing more than like any other American sport. You know what I mean?
Right. I can agree with that.
But no, the reason why I asked that because, like I said, it's so many of us that have like got to a point. You was like, for a moment, you was thinking, like, all right, what the fuck am I doing? Right? And then you just either something catch on where it could be like Tyree photography, it could be fucking doing art or whatever. Some motherfuckers just like, shit, I'm a rap or I'm gonna get a job and fucking just whatever. You know what I mean? You just get a job because you know you gotta make some money because your people gonna tell you need to make some money. Or you want to do shit, you want to hang around and shit like that. You want to go out. We done damn sure had a fair amount of going out. We had some wild ass fucking outfit choices going to fucking Piranha. Remember we was trying to get Des to go? We was like, bro, we want to get flounty hoes, so we was wearing like dress shirts and shit. And Des like, nah, I'm straight.
I don't care what happens in life, man. I would never think about childhood because that was, man, the funnest time in life, man. Like that one J. Cole song, he like, you happy when you're broken, all that, man. I promise that was like the happiest time of my life. Our childhood was, off the charts. If that could have been recorded and put on TV now, oh yeah,
that's some wild shit.
Tons of money, tons.
That's some funny shit, man.
Oh my gosh.
Man, oh yeah, we should talk about some of them.
I'm here, man. I'm here to talk about all it.
You sure?
I'm here. I'm here.
So before we get to that, so all right, so you're playing football. I know, and you was playing JUCO, this and the third. And now you got a chance to like experience like life in like another area. Because at some point, absolutely. I feel like we ain't gonna never leave Tampa. You might go to Miami or some shit, or Atlanta, but you don't never really go out to California and be in LA for just to go.
I never even imagine even leaving the state.
It's one of those things like now it's more between the ages of 18 and like 22, niggas was not buying flights like that.
No.
Now it's like, oh, okay, niggas buy a flight, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like if you traveling outside of the country. But before, niggas was not like buying flights like that.
Think about
niggas will try to road trip every once in a while. You know what I mean?
We thought just being here was everything. Like we ain't need to go nowhere else. That was just our mindset. But that was the psychological box that we've been in, for that period of time in life until we actually got to step outside that box and be like, oh, it's more to life and broadening her horizon. So
I mean, it was a lot of hoes too, man. It was a lot of women. I'm sorry. It was a lot of women. A lot of women, man. Jesus Christ. Damn, bro.
That's facts, man.
Bro, we was like the Piranha All-Stars, man.
Yeah. Piranha was the spot.
We was in that bitch every
I don't know how it is now, but Piranha was a spot for us back
Yeah.
then. But and the crazy part about it, we wasn't going unless we got it in free, and somehow we all got it in free.
It's some niggas that's on Facebook now that I see that's good old married husbands. I was like, bro, you was in there with us the whole time, bro. You know what I'm saying? You was in there every fucking week. I ain't never been in nothing every week like that since then. That's some
true.
crazy
That's
shit.
true. That's true. I think it's probably why I don't go out now. Like I tell people, I had my fun, man. Like I don't really, and back then I did it because
bitch. I want some more of that, bitch. I got a little more money now, bitch. I was broke back then. I got a little money on me, bitch. Fuck that. I used to always get girls' numbers and never convert afterwards. I used to be a dog in the club getting their numbers, man.
I think that's because our thing was like we already knew that we not trying to wife nobody in the club, and it was really no big main purpose. You know what I'm saying?
I was in love, bitch. I'm over there trying to get these numbers like.
Well, let me take that back. Why I speak for myself? I didn't.
like the wood, man. It was like, hey, got another number. Why she ain't answering, bro? This shit crazy. Like. But all right. So you in college. You out in California, right? You're starting to see a lot of things. I remember you were sending me videos of like certain celebrities you was running into at parties and stuff like that.
I still got the pictures. I have pictures with Damian Lillard, McCullum. I got a picture of Draymond Green. I didn't get a picture of Gronkowski and Vince Wilfork. I seen a picture of Usher, 50 Cent. I seen a couple. So I was, I was kind of like low-key starstruck at the time. You know what I'm saying? I've actually seen these people in person that I always see on TV. And they regular human beings. Especially that dude Grunt. I know he's silly. He's silly, but he's a big giant kid.
So with football, all right, let's say, all right, so now there comes to a point where like, all right, college with football wraps up. And like you like mid to late 20s, right? Mm-hmm. So now that's wrapping up, and like professional football, because it's like a window. You know what I'm saying? You're putting your body through so much.
Absolutely.
So there is a window, whether we want to believe that or not.
It is.
Right? What is on your mind at that time as like college football is wrapping up? What is your mindset as far as like the next thing? Because at one point, where you were then didn't seem like you were going to ever get there, maybe just years prior. So now you're here and that's wrapping up. Do you kind of feel like, are you feeling some of the same feelings like, damn, what I'm going to do next? Like what was that mindset and what was your pivot?
Okay, so in college at the time, thinking of, especially being out there at that age, I think I was like 24, 25. Mm-hmm. So being at that age is, in my mind, every day it's a challenge. Mm-hmm. Of being, can I outdo these younger cats that they're gonna automatically have favor over me due to they're younger, mm-hmm. and off the perception of being younger, they're automatically thinking they're more skilled, more mm-hmm. talented, having everything that comes with younger abilities. But even now, as I learned in today's time, it's not when you train, it's how you train, So at that time, I always been a hard worker. I always been a hard trainer. So even at that time, I always been working hard every day, staying consistent. And plus I was out there with my brother. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they even made that transition even easier. Mm-hmm. Because I can say if I was out by myself, it'd probably been a lot more harder. But I don't know because we didn't get to realize that situation. But it made it easier. And I guess me and him pushing each other made the journey a whole lot easier and being able to transition a lot smoother.
It also gives you somebody that you can relate to.
Absolutely. Because we always stay to each other, other than the friends that we did gain, the company that we did gain, but we always stay close to each other because, we at the same time we in a new area, we don't know who we can trust and lean on and stuff like that. Right. So, and then plus me and him having that same mentality, the mentality of competing, we kept that hard work ethic up, so it made even being at that age out there at that time not even a factor, even if I tried to think about it, it didn't become a factor because at the same time I was still out there moving and out in better shape than most people. As a matter of fact, most of all the people that was out there, because especially when you get to Cali, the weather is different, mm-hmm. The weather's thin, they don't have no humidity out there, so it's easier to breathe. Then down here in Florida, they got the humidity.
Okay.
Now, my theory of, experiencing that from both ways and seeing that us come out there and already being in more shape than them, my theory of here, the humidity is like a weight vest here to us. So we training and having extra stuff on us as opposed to out there, you just running through straight thin air. But out there, the sun's gonna cook you. You're gonna get dark fast. But yeah, we was in a lot more shape than everybody, man. Everything we done, we coming in first place. We're first ones to get done, and we still got to come in fourth quarter. We basically just getting started, you know what I'm saying? So that, got us the attention we had and whatnot. But and then graduating from there, even out it was so many experiences and so much I learned out there. The people that was there, that you learn that different, like I say, demographics, different areas, different cultures, mindsets, they was out there just soaking up that they was in college, you know what I'm saying, enjoying the college party and enjoying just the college life period.
Oh, so it's like a maturity thing too.
Right, absolutely. So we already came out there with the mindset, well, we gonna get this thing
We on
done.
business
Right, you know, take care of business and be out of here. Cause we came and graduated like probably a year and 3 quarters, you know what I'm saying? So other people that been there, they've been there like 3-4 years already. And in our mind, we like, dang, what y'all still doing here? It's like, purpose of this is like a 2-year college and be gone.
That shit remind me of, what's the Netflix series? Last Chance You.
I actually haven't watched that yet. I need to go check it out. But yes, it's a maturity thing. So once we got done, take care of our business, we was out of there. You know what I'm saying? And out there, I also experienced the different levels of what we go through back at home. You know, favoritism, discrimination, stuff like that. Then you experience on a different scale. For as out there, when we was out there, they only like to show favoritism to the Cali people. They try to play Cali people over us.
Yeah.
So after that first year, we won the championship the first year. Yeah, second year. So me and my brother thinking like, oh, we finna get our shine now, 'cause all them gone, we on one, and they don't see us and da-da-da. Come around second year, they still in the same thing. And, and it's bad when the coach comes to you after the season and tell you, hey man, we sorry, we tried something new. What do you mean you trying something new? Like, bro,
I can see that
win,
like
you're trying to win.
I can see like coaches be having relationships with coaches in the area,
Right.
high school coaches, or may have known people in camps and stuff like that. So communication down the pipeline. They probably been knowing this kid since he was 14. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, especially half the team is already from out there.
Exactly.
In that
You know
area.
what I'm saying? So I can see that, but at the same time I can see how that's like, yo, like one, bitch, I ain't just walk up and apply.
Right, you feel me? Because at the same time, you're messing up with other kids' lives that really got a chance to make something in this area. It's like you're not really caring. Like if you supposed to be, in our perception, it's supposed to be talent. You're gonna play talent first.
Right.
Bump the rest. Bump the emotions. Bump how you feel. Bump your relationship. You might get them a chance or whatnot just because you favor them. But to keep a person that's in the game that's dropping the ball here and there, missing tackles here and there, when they ain't supposed to, like, all right, now you doing too much.
Right.
So yeah, man, it was a heck of an experience out there, man, too. I love the weather out there. I loved it, but yeah.
So when that ended, right, was it like an immediate move back to Florida?
Nah, I had got a scholarship from Livingstone College. So when I graduated from there, Mount San Antonio College in California, I got a scholarship to Livingstone College. Now, if I'd have knew back then what I knew now, I'd have been patient and waited with my decision on different schools I'd have chose, But I rushed into it. That's when the age thing came into play. We thinking, okay, well, I'm already
Trying to hurry, let me,
right, you know what I'm saying?
some of this time.
Absolutely. Made a decision, okay, well, I'm gonna go to Livingstone College, which Livingstone College was the first HBCU ever created, in North Carolina. So I was excited to go there. Okay, I'm gonna go to predominantly all black school. They probably gonna work a little different and whatnot. Yeah, that was a different experience too.
Just like the whole, coaching facility and all that stuff, like.
Yeah, cause Mount now mind you, when I went to Mount Sac was like if you been there, it was like a university itself. That's how big the school was, and that's how the school program was ran. Cause like I think, a matter of fact, I think they were talking about at the time turning into a university, because they brought in so much money, and then they were like number 3 in the nation of JUCOs. You know, so you know they definitely deserved it. They definitely had the prestige to afford.
And then going to Livingston was like going back to Tech.
What I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to be in there. Now that's where the being able to relate to people came in. It definitely came in, because when my brother went there, we only related to the faculty members. You know, we got along and was cool with the other students there, but we didn't hang out with them or anything because we couldn't really relate to them. Because all they really wanted to do was party, drink, all the young.
All young O's, man.
Yeah, that's
what they're trying to do.
You feel me? So, but the faculty member was basically, you know, our age and, you know, could relate to us. So we always, you know, kicked it with the faculty members. And then in doing that, that's when we learned about the financial negatives of the school, you know, how they was robbing the kids or money and stuff like that. But them kids didn't know, because they didn't try to learn that. They didn't care. They just was happy they was in college partying, dorms and all that stuff. So they didn't really get to look at that. So us being in that relationship with the faculty members, it helped us protect ourselves from that environment. You feel me? So that was a heck of an experience too, man. And being able to even play on that collegiate level, no matter what circumstances that came with it, I definitely am grateful for it and appreciative of it. Because at the end of the day, I felt like if I didn't have that chance to go to Cali, I probably never got my degree.
Gotcha.
Put it like that. So at the end of the day, it's always a blessing in whatever you go through. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're going through it, doing what you're supposed to do, and leading with your heart. You know.
So what was the moment? Do you remember the moment where you was like, all right, football is done, and was that around the same time you said boxing, or was there a time where you didn't know what you was gonna do once you realized football was done?
There was a time I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I didn't start boxing, but I did boxing as a hobby, you know.
Just to stay in shape and shit?
Yeah, just stay in shape. When I came back, my first summer when I was my 2 years out there in North Carolina at Livingstone College. So after the first year got done, and in summer, I came home from the summer, you know. I was with Coach G gym at that gym, playing around the boxing stuff. Matter of fact, we became friends with Tony Tyree Jr. You know,
okay, I remember that.
Me and my cousin Rail, him, his partner, you know, we used to play around the boxing, because that was a gym from down the street from the house. So play around with that. So then when we came back for the summertime, you know, we was talking about, I got a little more serious with it. And what made me get even more serious with it is when, you know, Coach J was like, you know, you want to train and actually fight an amateur fight? I said, yeah, you know, you can do that. You know, I don't mind fighting and whatnot. So when I trained for them 2 months and I actually won my first amateur fight, I said, man, look at this. I'm at this certain age late in life, and I done trained these 2 months for boxing, and I won a fight against somebody that's been doing this since they was a kid. I'm like, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind. That's something I could probably fall back on and do, you know. So when I left, went back to school, you know, finished that year of whatnot. Well, I didn't even finish all the way through because my mom ended up with cancer, and I came back home, you know. And I came back home with like a semester left. All I needed was I had a semester left was in to get my bachelor's degree in psychology, but I didn't, you know. To this day, at one point in time, I regretted it. I don't regret it no more, but, you know, I thought about going back and still doing it, but, you know, I don't left it alone now.
So after that amateur win, was that like the thing that was like, all right, I think I'm gonna go this route, or was it just like, I'm gonna just keep this in my back pocket?
I'm just keeping my back pocket.
So what was the moment where it was like, all right, I'm gonna do this shit?
When I came back from school, and I was done with out there at Livingstone College, I came back, right? So at this time, I had got back in a relationship after a while. When I came back home, got back in a relationship, and
Did you just do sound effects, bitch?
I did.
The fuck?
It helped me think. So,
okay, niggas. So that's help you breathe.
Oh man, but that helped me in my thinking process. But yeah, I got a relationship, and I think it was a couple life situations, you know, because I always been a jack of all trades. So many different things I could do, but I never stuck with one thing. So at that time, my latest shoot told me, man, you should do truck driving. You should do trying like I could drive CDLs or whatnot, but I didn't want to go over the road because I like exercising. I like being active. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be away from nobody and whatnot. So at the time, I'm like, man, what the hell can I do? Like, I'm bouncing from here, I'm bouncing here, I'm doing all these different things, but I'm not just sticking with something, you know. I'll be here for 2 months and I'll be doing something else for another 2 months. Mm-hmm. So in the midst of that, I'm playing with personal training. So what got me back into it was I started training with Coach King again. Coach King, my cousin Rel, right? And then I had came to another point I was going to stop again because when I started training with them, I fought like 2 more times and I came with my elbow injury.
Oh yeah, I remember that you was out for the elbow shit.
Right,
I came surgery and shit.
Yep. So and for me, I didn't think I'd be able to box again. So after I had surgery, I sat down for like another year, almost a year and a half. So then what all came around again was the little I don't know if you ever heard of the NBA Neighborhood Boxing League. That came around.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Remember, I was like, hey man, Frank out here fighting motherfuckers outside, bitch.
That came around. And what made me get into that was, you know, remember,
bro, that was one of the most like wildest things I had ever imagined. Mm-hmm. I was like, this nigga out here fighting, bro. This nigga's fighting outside like on some like video. Tyree be watching these cage fights, bro.
Yeah, for real. It became real popular in different other states, and it got more organized with it or whatnot. But for some reason, Tampa people couldn't, in their own way, egos and prides messed it up.
I was like, bro, I cannot see Frank get knocked out, right? I can't see this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Never. You're still.
And then I was having like little like beefs and shit. Like this nigga Frank, like I'm gonna knock this nigga the fuck out type shit. Like damn, what the fuck?
And you talk about that little interview thing we had between there and Tom. And that was one of the reasons why I did it, because at the time me and my brother were talking, like I had some other people that I knew inside of it, you know, like my boy Ill Will was talking about it and getting introduced to it. And so me and the dude Top was going back and forth, like it was beef, but it wasn't a real beef, but it was beef in the boxing world of it, you know. So my brother started back training. Me and him, he started back getting me back in training to boxing. So when that came around, you know, that's what got me back into boxing fully. You know, I ventured off that. I ventured off that and was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue with my pro career because that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why it brought back that passion, and also it helped me find the biggest part of it. It helped me find a second purpose in life. You know, so I told myself to go back a little bit about football, right? So even though I did my work ethic, you know, I stayed consistent, did my studying and everything I needed to football. And today, when I look back, I didn't put my everything into it, like my time, life, energy, everything.
You just did what you knew what was necessary, and that you could do it. You had the time.
Absolutely. So when I got into boxing, I'm like, now I'm gonna take this and put 100% of my life into it. You know what I'm saying? Even when right after I had my pro fight, I got done my job. Like, man, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put everything into it, and whatever goes, it goes. You know what I'm saying?
That's tough shit.
It's definitely tough. I don't have sacrifices. He said,
Tyree did that shit with cameras. Man, fuck you. That nigga looked at that picture one time. He was like, bro, like. Yeah, I want you to punch my fucking head. I'm gonna do this shit, bro. Like, that's what I do, bro. I'm gonna take pictures, bro.
And bro, and like once you do that, I don't blame you. Like once you do that, you honestly come to the point of understanding like whatever you put out there in life is gonna come back to you. You know what I'm saying? The law of attraction. You know what I'm saying? So once you put everything into it, it started coming back to me. You know what I'm saying? Hence to where I'm at now. But at the time, you know, when I had the so venturing off on NBL when that big such and such fight didn't happen between me and Top, you know, I just kept continuing with my boxing, got back into amateur and whatnot. I think I had like one more fight. Yeah, I think I had like one more fight. I had one more fight, and then my homeboy Marcus, he had a promoter talk to him, and he's like, hey, you got anybody else that want to fight? And Homo Morgus called me, and he was like, hey, did you want to make your pro debut with such and such promoter? I say, yeah, I talked with my team, my brother, cousin Real, Coach King, talked to him, like, man, you already got the skills, you're talented, you could do away with these amateur fights, because even me doing the amateur fights, I had like 5 other fights that didn't go through because one, my opponent didn't show. 2, my opponent see me and then make some excuses and not fight. So I'm like, I'm tired of it. Yeah, I don't had that. I really had it. It was one time I was standing in line behind my opponent. You know what I'm saying? So, just the sportsmanship, turn around, shook hands, whatnot. So after the weigh-in, right? After weigh-in, come back. I talked to the commissioner and whatnot. So they like, your opponent pulled out saying he got a mean headache or something like that. I'm like, I just seen it. You looked fine, So, people in the boxing world, they make all type of excuses. But I got tired of, like going through that. You know what I'm saying? Coming through these fights, 'cause I feel like I was wasting time. I was wasting my time. So around that time when I got off of my pro debut,
It was a pro debut. This is with the Team Combat League?
No. That was my regular boxing career. So when that pro debut came around, and that came about, I accepted that, trained for that, and that fight happened. And when that fight happened, from the weigh-in to the fight, that whole experience itself, I enjoyed it, because me being my first time being around in another professional sport, in my mind, I want to experience everything from A to Z. I'll make sure I was on time for everything, the meetings, the weigh-in, et cetera, et cetera. So when that fight happened, even though I had lost that fight, I enjoyed everything. Even in that fight, I felt like I belonged. It was like a home, comfortable feeling for me. I said, okay, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm going to do. And that's why, like, right after that day, a couple days after, like, I'm done away with my job, So
you have that moment. Now you kind of feel like you got a new energy, I'm assuming, right? So new energy, this energy feel like, all right, I'm kind of stepping in a path that I feel like is my path, right? Where does Team Combat, because I think this was like the first year that this occurred. Yeah. So it just seems like perfect timing, you kind of join while this new format of boxing is created. And can you tell us more about what Team Combat League boxing is?
Okay.
Because like a team format, right?
Right. So Team Combat League, they took, for the first time ever, took pro boxing. Boxing itself is an individual sport. You have your team as your trainers around you, but when you're in the ring,
right,
it's just
you and that motherfucker.
So they made boxing a team sport, and what they do is they broke down the divisions. So it's a lot of different divisions in pro boxing, but they broke it down to like 6 divisions. You know what I'm saying? So in one girl division, and for each division you have a roster of 3 people. So I'm light heavyweight, so it's you got me and 2 other people in my division. Same thing for lightweight, featherweight, and all that, et cetera, et cetera. And when you go in there, they made it 18 rounds. So basically 3 segments of 6 rounds. So you got your coach where they'll make the roster. Well, I want you first string, I want you second string, I want you third string. You're gonna fight this first round fight. You're gonna fight this second round, or you might fight in the money round, or you might fight 2 rounds. You might fight first round and money round, second round and money round, or first and second. So they'll basically base it off of like just how, if you got let's say you got Barry Sanders, then you got somebody behind him. Barry Sanders, you finna come in for the first frame, and then we'll put this dude in for the second quarter, not for the money round, which could be 4th quarter. You'll come in, get us that win, that points that we need, and from there. And what they'll do after all the rounds, they're gonna add up all the points. Whoever got the most points won that match. So the round could be, if you won a round just by 10-9, that's a point. You can win a round if you get a score knockdown, that's a 10-8 round. If you win a round by a knockout or a straight TKO, that's 3 points. You know what I'm saying? Right. So all them points total up, and your team win that match just like that. So it's a very new concept, very innovative, and a lot of action, because the fact that you fighting 1 or 2 rounds, ain't no waiting out, ain't no
right. You got a lot of energy. You're not fighting a lot of rounds, so you giving it a lot.
Right. And in pro boxing, you basically you
got to pace yourself.
Yeah, you could take the 1 or 2 rounds just to try to figure out your point. Nah, you want that 1 or 2 rounds, you get straight to it,
Gotcha.
banging. You know what I'm saying? So it was also a thought of like, more chance of somebody that might get hurt, get knocked down. I mean, thank God it ain't too much happen. A lot of knockdown stuff happened, but for like somebody getting sent to the hospital, stuff like that, that didn't really much happen as they thought it would have happened. But it was the fact that there's a lot of action, a lot of people on it is very entertaining. Very entertaining.
And they said this was the first season that he did this.
Absolutely.
And you say so the team you fought for was
Atlanta Attack.
Atlanta Attack. They don't have there's no Florida team.
Nope. But they was talking in the making of getting a Florida team. It's either they told me Orlando or Tampa.
Okay.
They haven't decided yet.
So you joined Team Atlanta, right? Team Atlanta Attack. And
I found out about that tryout like a week before that tryout.
So it was a tryout. And you had to go to Atlanta for the tryout, or did they come out here?
No, I had to go to Atlanta for the tryout.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Marlon put me on it, from the president of the league, team, Dewey Cooper, he let Marlon know because they got a relationship or whatnot. Then Marlon told me about it when I saw him in the gym one night. And I was like, yeah, and at this time, when I found out about it, that's when my grandma had died, in December, So at this time, I thought about not going, and just being here with my family. But my mom was like, you did everything for your grandma you're supposed to do. You good. We give you the okay. Do your thing. Don't miss out on opportunities or whatnot because you don't know what could come from it. So did that. Went out there. And around this time, since that had happened, I wasn't training like that. So I went out there rusty. A lot of people don't know that. I went out there rusty. So the first day of the tryouts, I was still in good enough shape. And just me being mentally strong, the workout we did, I was like the first, in the first group in the workout, coming to my first sparring of the tryout, had not a little rust off or whatnot. Then it came down to the second sparring, third sparring, and once I got that rust off, I was good. So I was still in a good enough shape or good enough skill level to make it.
Yeah, and to be impressive to, Yeah,
absolutely. That was a blessing.
So this first season, and actually y'all made it to the finals against Team New York.
Yes.
Right? So what was that like? Like, because I saw that they had like even some celebs that was out that they brought out. It was a very eventful thing,
right,
and all of that. So like, how was that, and how are they treating the teams and the boxers? Like, are they giving you looks? Are we looking at like sponsors and shit? Like, what's
that's definitely in the talks, and that's definitely on the contracts too. I don't know per se of who certain sponsors who step to who,
right,
but I definitely seen some sponsors out there. Celebrities, yes, definitely celebrities out there. They had David Haney come through, Sean Porter. What's your boy?
But they was definitely, you could see that they're trying to make this like eventful.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be real huge, man, because it's growing every single day. Even you go back and look on Team Combat League YouTube now.
But you still watch some of the previous fights?
They still keep all the fights up. They keep all the fights up, So you could go back and look now and you see how the views have grown like by the thousands. Almost every other hour is growing, So even Sean Porter, he liked the new team concept of boxing, you know what I'm saying? So it's getting a lot of attention from a lot of celebrities, man. A lot of celebrities. Oh, you had King Batch out there. And then there's I forgot the one A-Rap dude, and they be with him all the time. Caleb Plant was out there. Then Holyfield was out there. So it's getting looks, man. It's getting looks. A lot of looks.
That's what's up, man.
It's gonna be. I believe it's gonna be real successful, and that's why like the stuff that we went through during the season. I told my team like, we're part of history. It's going down to history. You know what I'm saying? To be part of the first new wave of something, the innovation of something. We have to we look at it. We have to look at it as a big landmark of life. We can't be looking at it as something like so simple because it's huger than what we think it is.
Right.
Very huge. It's part of a huge market in the entertainment business, honestly. And us being a part of the first wave of it, we don't know what's to come with it. Like next year, we could become millionaires.
Don't let Floyd get a team. Don't let Floyd get a team.
Hey, that could be part of it too, man. That could be part of it too, because we don't know how this thing. The fact that it's all new and they working through kinks and still putting everything together, organizing. We don't know what's all their plans are coming up in it. You know, if they want to have where celebrities buy teams or different pro boxers buy teams, and we don't know. All we can think is just think of all these possibilities. It come to a point where like we could all really be millionaires next year, especially people that have been in the first part of the first wave, because on the contract it said like they put a double or triple I play for next season. You know, but
when's next season start?
I want to say around. They haven't gave us a actual date yet, but they say around like February or March.
Gotcha.
February or March.
Okay. Shit, man, I don't want to hold you too long, bro. I do appreciate you coming through and chopping up with us, man. I just thought it was really inspiring and kind of just like after the season was over, just kind of seeing your journey through your athletic journey and your career, and just kind of seeing how you kept up with football and now in boxing is really inspiring.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure it's going to inspire someone else who don't know you, but or anyone who probably do know you. Before we gotta just tell people where they can find you, how they can follow you and keep up with you.
You can find me on Instagram, Mr.Fundamentalz. Mr.Fundamentalz with a Z. Mr._Fundamentalz_. You can find me on TikTok, Frank G Nice. You can find me on Twitter, Frank G Nice. Even on Snapchat, Frank G Nice. The only thing for Mr.Fundamentalz is the Instagram. Everything's open book for me, man. I don't hide nothing. I'm here.
Been on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Snapchat a little while.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a little while. That was for the hoes. You ain't trying to connect nobody on Snapchat. You trying to holler at hoes? Shout out.
You can find me on Facebook too. I
holler
forgot my handle for Facebook, man. But Team Combat League has definitely been a journey, man. God played the way He had that whole thing set out, planned for me. Is definitely a blessing because it taught me a lot. I learned a lot, especially about myself and learning His unconditional love and what He wanted me to show to the people, because it's a lot of stuff that I went through out there, during the Team Combat League and me being out there by myself in Atlanta. There's a lot of situations that I had to learn, like, okay, this the type of test is, when you talking about being blessed, God's gonna put you through a test in order to bless you. He's not just gonna bless you, you gotta earn it. You feel me? So it's a lot of tests that I went through that I had to learn, like, okay, this is what you want me to go through in order to acquire the blessing that you give me. So I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot.
I appreciate you coming through, man.
I appreciate it, cuz.
Love you.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Too, man.